Hey there, I am Christy Ruffino, former broke single mom turned CEO of 2 six-figure businesses and best-selling author with 15 books. But it wasn't always like this. Not long ago, I was a hot mess. Yes, I did a lot of things right, but mostly I was throwing spaghetti on the wall to see what would stick. Fast forward past many failed attempts and a few incredible victories, I not only get to share what I've learned along the way, I get to bring together top influencers as they share their empowering stories, insider secrets, and valuable resources that can be used right now to step into your power. So, if you're an ambitious entrepreneur, or possibly one in the making, and you're looking to create a business and life that lights you up, well, then you're in the right place. Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to today's episode of the Mastery Unleashed podcast. This is Christy Ruffino, and I have the pleasure of interviewing and introducing you to Sue Patz. Now, I have been hanging around Sue for, a few months now and seeing all the amazing things she's doing, all the programs she has created, and all of the resources. Oh my gosh. If you want to go to a website that has a ton of resources, you want to definitely check out Sue's website. But she's incredible. And I wasn't sure. I shouldn't say this. So I love when I interview guests because I always learn something from them. But I did not realize how many notes I was going to take listening to Sue. But I actually took like almost 2 pages of notes because she goes into a lot of great information about the 3 forces that we need to make sure our business is profitable, as well as just life in general. And most importantly, she talks about the 4 centers to create profitable offers. And she goes into detail, not only explaining about the centers, but she connects them with an actual application. So you not only learn, but she makes sense of it all by equating every one of those centers with an actual relatable product or story, I should say, that we can kind of see how it all applies and how we can utilize it in our business. And I love that. Like, I want my guests to teach our audience tips that they can actually utilize in their business and get started. And Sue knocked it out of the park with what she taught. So I am going to go ahead and let's jump right into the show so you can see for yourself, or I should say, hear for yourself, how amazing Sue is and all of the great information she's sharing. And please stick around to the end because she has a great gift. We had a gift that she was going to give. And when I got on the phone with her, I got on the interview with her, she was so excited about this new gift that has been really well received by her audience, because right now it is like all of the craze and what everybody's dying for. So stick around. You'll be able to get the free gift and get all of Sue's wisdom. Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's show. This is Christy, and I get to introduce you to Sue Patz. Welcome, Sue. I'm excited to have you on the show today.
Oh, I'm excited too. Sure.
We're going to have a great time. We're going to talk about 4 centers to create profitable offers. And I love this because I know and have met so many struggling business owners because they're not creating offers, or they don't have offers that convert. And so, we want to help people, but we can't keep helping people if we don't make money. And so I'm excited to be able to dive into that with you today, Sue.
Oh, sure. I'm excited to share my information.
All right. So I kind of read your bio before we got going, and I am super excited because you have an incredible story. You have an incredible past, and you got here like through a series of events. So share with the audience a little bit about your story and why you're so passionate about helping people create profitable businesses.
I was born in India, and I was in the middle class family because my both parents they worked for government, so it was really middle class, and money was at a lot, but actually I never felt it was less. But I had two examples in my life. Means my mom was a very spiritual person, and she was a saint, and till now I haven't seen a better human being than her in my life. And my dad was exactly opposite. He was totally unpredictable. We never knew how he was going to behave, how and what. And we may not have that much of physical abuse, but my dad was really good at verbal abuse. And I grew up seeing both these things. And my mom was really like my hero. I always wanted to be like her. And at the age of sometime in 20s, I realized that I had become exactly like my dad. And the person I could never stand, I really had lots of issues. Even me and my brother, both of us, we had lots of issues with him, and I had turned exactly like him. And that was really shocking for me because my mom was my hero, and I couldn't believe that I have become exactly like my dad. And I started hating myself. I didn't like myself, and I became very negative. And everybody wants some kind of help that time. They just want some kind of support. I didn't want to take support from my mom because she already was suffering. And at that time, people opt for drugs. They do various other things. So for me, the drug became spirituality because whatever questions I had, whatever concerns I had, I always felt that if I go into spirituality, I would find answers. I would find peace of mind. Because my mom was very spiritual, and I think that is how she was surviving. And I learned that from her. Thank God, at least I learned one good thing from her. And that time I realized that, okay, I'm getting answers for everything. And I remember telling my brother that time, I have become like my dad, our dad, but it is my lifetime goal to become like our mom.
Hmm.
And that became my journey. So every day it was became passion for me. If I'm better today than yesterday, and I really didn't know it was a big deal, but now I see what a basket case I was in my 20s, and now I have become way better. I'm still not even halfway to my goal, but at least it's a uh, way better. They always say, right, 1% better. So it's like that. I think it happened, and I really got transformation. And I just want to share that transformation because the kind of happiness, peace you get through, and it is applicable everywhere. It is applicable to your life, your business. And that's what I want to share to people because I see people suffering for no reason. Means
Hmm.
you have all the answers there. And I'm talking about spirituality. It is not about religion because I studied many religions and I found all the common traits in everywhere. So that is what I want to share. So this is in brief how I got into spirituality. And many times people think spirituality means you renounce everything and you go to jungle and that is how you live life. It is not like that, because you can live alone and you will have a really great life, but when you're dealing with people you cannot stand. And that time if you bring in spirituality principles, your life will be so much better.
That is so
Yeah.
true. That is so true. So I want to kind of back up a little bit because you made a comment that spirituality is not religion. And you know what? Some people tend to think that if I say I'm spiritual, I'm a religious or religious and I'm spiritual, but it's two separate things. So can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, it's two separate things because people always say your God, my God, and I really feel it is there is no discrimination like that because I learn from everyone. For example, see, when you are in business, you are dealing with really difficult people. I really remember Jesus, and he always say, please forgive them. They don't know what they are doing.
Absolutely.
So that is the example I find over there. So it's not, so means it is basically, if I were religious, then I wouldn't have appreciated Jesus. But whatever I learned from Jesus, whatever I learned from Buddha, everything is applicable in my life. So it's
Yeah.
not like that. And I really feel people limit themselves if they're talking only about religion. And when spirituality means basically you are open vessel and you are ready to absorb all good things from everywhere.
I agree. I agree. And when I hear the word religion, I think of rules, right? I think of rules. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but that's what I think of. Okay, to be religious, I've got to follow certain rules. And you know what? Spirituality is, it's more like our soul and the earth and just, I don't know, like, tell me, am I on the right track here?
Religion is basically what I realize, and this is understanding at my this moment. Okay, tomorrow I may be having some better
That is
understanding. So
true.
I don't
That
know.
is true. Exactly.
So so religion, I feel, means basically destination is same for everyone. Everyone wants to reach the same destination, but then there are just the different ways.
Yes, that's
So
true.
your beliefs are different, my beliefs are different. So depending on whatever your beliefs are, there is a different staircase. So
Yeah,
it's
that's
not,
true.
you cannot say that your staircase is better than my staircase. It's the same
Oh,
path.
absolutely.
So you are
Absolutely.
climbing the same mountain, only you are going by different way, I'm going by different. It is the
Yeah.
same thing.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so you shared about spirituality, but now how does it tie into your mission to help entrepreneurs and business owners?
See, basically, many times I see lots of things. People do talk about some spiritual principles here, there, about especially manifestation, money, meditation, and all. But whenever I think we are getting on to topic way in advance, but whenever people talk about uh, creating offers or anything about business, they talk only about the heart related. But there are other four centers which they don't talk about it. So everything basic, whatever principles are there, you can just apply. For example, last week I wrote an article, LinkedIn article. I have a LinkedIn newsletter, and there I wrote the importance of follow up. And there, how I wrote about the three principles, spiritual principles or the forces. And there, I also gave example of quantum physics. Means basically quantum physics and spirituality principles, they go hand in hand. You
Okay,
cannot
yeah.
separate. You feel quantum, what Newton said and what Krishna said, they are same thing. So I in that article I wrote how there are three forces on this earth. One is desire, and that is rajas, and that is Newton's first law. Then second one is objections or tamas, and third one is sattva or balancing. So whenever you have any kind of desire or offer, or when you do your presentations, so it is the desire you are attracting. But
Mm,
whenever any force is created, it has exactly same amount of um, opposite force is created, and
right.
that is rajas. That is rajas, and that is those are the objections. And many times people are not ready for the objections because they think, oh, my offer is so good, my business plan is so great, I won't get any objections. But it is basically, it is the part of it. Whenever you have a desire, there will be objections. Whenever you have rajas force, you will have tamas force. And then why the follow-ups are important, because then if you don't address those objections, this force will be neutralized and nothing, no action will take place. Nothing
Right.
will happen. So that's why the follow-ups are important, because then you are keep on introducing your know, like, and trust factor. And that is how you are bringing the balancing. And that's how the person is going to take action.
Gotcha.
So,
This,
basically, it's the same thing you can actually explain in a different way. When I'm talking about four spiritual centers, here I'm explaining the same thing, but here I'm using the three forces. I
okay.
can use same thing using the law of pendulum. But once you know all these spiritual laws, life becomes so easy because people always have so many questions. Why this, why that? And they have pity party. Why poor me and all. But if you have all these principles, is there. You don't have all these pity parties and you don't have these questions. Why me, why this and why that and all that. You just actually accept whatever it is and then you move on. You take action and you move on.
Okay, this is so good. So we're going to take a little break, but I'm glad you kind of put it all together because you're taking everything you learned on your spiritual journey and using these spiritual laws to help business owners and help entrepreneurs get better success from these laws. I mean, universal laws of spirituality. Love that. All right. So hang tight, everybody. We're going to take a quick break and then we're going to dive in because we're really going to talk about the 4 centers to create your profitable offers. So hang tight. Well, hello, everybody, and welcome back. This is Christy and Sue Path, and we're talking about how to utilize or tap into the spiritual laws to be able to be more successful in our businesses and how to create profitable offers. And you said there are 4 centers to this. So let's just dive in. What is the first center?
Actually, there are more than 4 centers, but I'm going to talk only about the 4 main centers because there are some other centers which shouldn't be involved. For example, sex is also one of the centers, but I hope that is not involved when you're creating
well, it depends on the business, right?
Yeah, if you have that related business, of course, but yeah, I'm not talking about that. So let's talk about 4 basic major centers. So first center is instinctive center. Instinctive center, and that is the center which takes care of many things which you don't even care for. For example, digestion, or for if a newborn baby. Nobody teaches newborn baby how to suck milk and all, but newborn baby does all those things. So those are actually all come automatically programmed in you.
Yeah,
And every human
okay.
being or every animal, they have their different programming. So that is an instinctive center, and that is designed to provide and protect or just do the basic common functionality. Because, for example, you don't have to keep on thinking about your heartbeat, or it just happens automatically. So all these things are programmed in instinctive center. Then the moving center, that also how people are walking, moving, and all those. So that is the moving center. And the third center is emotional center, and that is heart. I don't need to tell much about it because almost everybody knows about this. And whenever people talk about anything about entrepreneurship, mostly they are focusing only on the heart, emotional center. And many times people actually confuse subconscious and conscious mind with heart center and all. And that's a really vast topic. I won't go into that because that itself will be
here
like
all day. Yeah.
So
we'll have
subconscious mind is not heart.
Yeah.
Subconscious mind is not emotional center. It is not heart. It is a totally different thing. And the fourth one is intellectual center. And in current world, actually, there is a more emphasis is given on intellectual center. But the real life, you will have real good life, balanced life when all these 4 centers are in balance. Now, for example, you see an athlete, his moving center is very, very enhanced. He's really good. But then you will see he will be lacking on other remaining 3 centers, like instinctive, emotional, and intellectual center. So as far as you have all these 4 centers in balance, your life will be really good. And I can just give you a real-time example how these 4 centers work. Now, for example, I was into network marketing, and how I got into network marketing I'll give you example. Whenever people see your offer, if they're interested in your offer, that means they are getting the instinct that, okay, this is what something they want. So
Yes.
network marketing was not actually on my radar, but they presented in a such a way that it is nice to have some backup income. So I say, okay, I became curious. I said, okay, no problem. Let me take a look at it. So my instinctive center gave me a signal. Okay, I can go ahead and I can take action. Then I went for the presentation. I slept throughout the presentation and it didn't make any sense to me. But at the end, the speaker said that his wife is retired from IBM and she takes care of the kids. And that really means basically attracted me, because that time we were planning to start our family. And I said, oh, that will be a really great option, because we live here in different country. I don't have any family here. I wanted to take care of my own kids and still I wanted to make money. So my emotional center immediately became active. And I came home and I told my husband, okay, we will be doing it. And he was really shocked, because both of us were professional and he had his intellectual center totally intervened. And he said, logically, it doesn't make any sense. So then we came up to the conclusion that, okay, give me 1 year. If I show you some success, we'll go ahead. If I don't show you success, I will drop out. So
Yeah.
that is how then we came to the conclusion. And then our moving center acted. And then we took action and we joined the business. So when you are creating offer, when you are saying only heart center, heart center offer, we are just attracting only one particular center. And what about other three centers? So make your offer in such a way that other person's instinctive center is first attracted, so that they will come for your webinar, so that they will come for your summit, so that they can come to your first top, basically that wide area of funnel. Once they
Yes.
come into the funnel, then of course you do the presentation. And that's why the storytelling is so important, because the storytelling takes care of your emotional center, because someone can relate to you some way or other. So the storytelling attracts emotional center. But then there will be some logical people, some intellectual people who will get bored with the storytelling. So at that point, you have to take care of them also. So that point, you have to show social proof, testimonials, because they want to see the facts, figures, and numbers. So when they see that, of course, then they will be convinced. And when you take care of all these three centers, you will go ahead and the prospect will join your program. So I've talked about this creating profitable offer. First time I talked about how using the three forces. Now I'm talking about the same thing using four centers. So once you know all these principles, this is how you will put into your content. Yeah, you can create your sales page using ChatGPT and all that, but you have to give proper prompts. And if you know all these things, then basically you can move ahead, right? Because
Absolutely.
it all basically it is, you are the creator of your business.
Absolutely. So I love this. So we've got the four centers that start with instinctive, which is the curiosity. And this is what you want to make sure, like the funnel. What are you going to do to get their attention? And maybe even your marketing. What are you going to do to get them like interested in you?
Yeah,
And
because
then,
instinctive center is for protection. Because what happens, many times people think if there is a threat, they won't take any action.
right.
So you have to show that they are protected.
Right. And I think that's why when in marketing, I know there's been a lot of different cycles in marketing, what works, what doesn't work, what ads, generate leads, what ads don't. But right now, the census seems to be that these unpolished videos, just real raw marketing is working better, because then it shows your vulnerability. It takes down the defenses of the person and it gets them curious. So I love that.
Absolutely.
And I took note of that, because I'm working on some videos right now and I'm like, oh, I messed up there. But people like that. They like seeing you be transparent. So I
You
love
know,
that.
I heard case studies that someone spent thousands of dollars and got a professional video done. And then they did the split testing with the regular video without much editing and just authentic, genuine.
Yep.
And the one regular, which was authentic and genuine, got more views than the professionally done. So.
I get it. When I see a super professional polished video, I think, well, first of all, what are they going to sell me? So I don't even listen. Second of all, well, I can never be like that person, right? So there's that there's that whole like disconnection. So that I love that. So if you don't take anything else from this show today, take that. At least I took that away. I took a lot of notes. But then we get into story. And I know I've been working with women with their stories for 12 years now, because our story is what connects with our audience. Our story is what makes us vulnerable. And we should be teaching through story more than we should be teaching through telling people information. So story sell. So I love that. Then that's the emotional center with our heart. Then we get into intellectual, right? Our mind and facts and social proof. Bring in any testimonials, bring in your success stories of your clients, because that will get that prospect to realize, hey, if they did it for that person, they can do it for me. And follow. And finally, we've got action. Get that person moving, which is whatever the offer is, right? But by that point, once they hear the offer, they're ready to say yes, if you did all of the other things right. So is that a fair assessment of what you taught?
Absolutely.
Awesome. And then you started sneaking in Chat GPT, because I am really glad, because when we first put this show together, when we scheduled it, you had a different free gift that you were going to share with our audience, but you've changed that. And it is, well, I'm going to let you share. What is the gift that you're going to share with our audience today?
See, it's my passion for solopreneurs to gain more visibility. And solopreneurs, they don't have huge resources. Now, for example, I take a field of SEO. There are big companies, they will be spending thousands and thousands of dollars on SEO. But solopreneurs, they don't have that much of budget. So I have a program, just do it yourself SEO. Actually, even I can take your SEO projects, I can do for you also. But those things, they are very simple, very easy. For example, I'm giving ChatGPT prompts for doing your own SEO, and that you can do it even for the social media or for a website or a blog, anywhere that you can apply. And I just want people to take these prompts and run with it and gain more visibility and get more business, become more successful. That is what I want.
That's your heart center, right? You're tapping into your heart center there.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
All right. So we're going to have that free gift in the show notes below for you to go ahead and grab that. And I just want to thank you, Sue, for being on the show. You are a wealth of information, and I know you've got so many things you're doing out there in the world, and you have so much knowledge and wisdom that you want to share with solopreneurs. So I definitely
I appreciate being on your show, and I'm looking forward to actually work even more with you, because even I'm learning a lot from you. So I'm just looking forward to working with you.
Absolutely. So I want to encourage all of you listening right now. If you took notes, I have like a page and a half of notes that Sue shared. So if you took any notes, I encourage you to share. I say this every time. So you probably, if you're a longtime listener, you know the routine, but I want you to share that with other people, because we will learn more by teaching others. So please do that. And of course, show us love on whatever platform you listen to our podcast. And so this has been a great show today. So I want to thank everybody for hanging out to the end, and thank you for going to our gift vault and getting Sue's gift. And most importantly, I want to thank you today, Sue. I really appreciate your time spending with me and our audience.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to the Mastery Unleashed podcast, where we believe that everyone can have the business and life of their dreams by turning their mess into their greatest message and following their purpose to help the people who need their newfound wisdom and resources. To learn more, visit masteryunleashedpodcast.com. And don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review to this show.